All right, here we go again.
Here we go again. We're going live now. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Let me just share this with the world, yo.
All right, welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling? I don't have a specific idea for today. We're gonna see where it goes. I have a couple, of course, I'm working off a huge backlog of stuff. So mostly on the comic book, and we're currently at page 5, which you're seeing here part of. I'm gonna go do a quick update on what we got so far, maybe walk you through a couple of stuff, and either continue working on page 5 or do something else. Either way, here we go. I'm posting this. We got some music going. Let me adjust the screen so I can see you guys in case you comment. Welcome. All right. So this is page 5, but before we go on, let me do a quick update, show you where we are. I'm at around doing a page a week, and soon when we get to a cornerstone in the story, thing is with this setup, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the whole page, but I'll be then able to maybe do a few colorings, because I'm gonna color them with watercolors, but maybe get to around page 10 or something. Okay, so just a quick reminder. We were here first at page 1. We started with this introduction of a case. As you recall, there was a dead cat, and the detective was after whoever was doing that. The detective was revealed. We saw how he looks in the future and who he's after, and his partner being here. Then we did page 3 with a little bit of a chase between the detective, the partner, and this mysterious person escaping in this vehicle. And the detective here opened up. Let me zoom in for this for dramatic effect. We showed a zoomed version of this metallic ball sack opening, and then so that we could do on the next page this grandiose reveal. First, the detective peeing. So let me zoom out here. So the detective is peeing here through this vehicle. Turns out it's just a holographic booby trap leading into a trap of laser beams. So then we could see this beautiful cock. Yes, if you're joining right now, that's what I'm showing you. I'm showing you this cock being held by a robotic hand, and this is the detective's cock, of course. Pretty happy with this panel of Shrumpy here. Getting into a more classic kind of comic book view. You look, rather. Also pretty happy with this alternative skyline here with some vehicles in the background, some stars. And so now we're at this page where finally the perpetrator has been put in jail. So we just found out on the previous page that in fact it was another member of the farther ones, who, if you've read the original story, you'll know who they are. And his thing was, actually I have a couple of other older stuff I can show you also. So the thing is, turns out that he was killing all the cats, despite them being endangered and all that in the future, simply because he was running a restaurant business cooking rats. That's right. And so he was just taking out the competition, guys. Very simple. You don't have to be a genius like me to figure it out, but good luck. It helps to be a genius like me, I got a couple older stuff I could show you. This is my first attempts on watercolor. They were not the best. Not all of this is good, but it took me a while to figure it out. Like to figure out. Let me just see if this is kind of focused. I think so. All right, that's me. All right, and this is just a theatrical prop. Now, there's some illustrations for some of my stories. There's some random stuff that I did too, just experimenting. There's some caricatures. But here's an example of kind of where I started figuring out watercolor for the first time. So watercolor is a very tricky thing, but I mean, not the trickiest, I think. They're the worst things. There's oils, I think, and acrylics are harder. But see, the thing is, these effects are really nice, and this is one reason I like watercolor, is because it's somewhat similar to ink in the sense that you can, sprinkle stuff. So this, for example, is a pretty easy thing to achieve just by you water that area, you make it wet, and then you just press down the brush just ever so slightly with a little bit of paint, and then it just spreads out. That's one effect you could do. This, as opposed to, you can see how this sort of blends out here. That's because of that, because it was wet here. But the sprinkles here, for example, that's easy to do. So I mean, and this is, I'm a little faking it. There's a couple ways you could do that part, meaning that not to move into the hair. So you could either tape it, or I just, I kind of did it until here, and then the rest of it I just finished. And then here is just more of a kind of dry brush technique, what they would call. And a dry brush is, just what the name suggests. It's not that much water. So that in the lightest light, like if you see the highlights here in the eyebrows, this area here, this area here, all of this is just the paper. There's nothing there, And when you work with watercolor, specifically for that kind of result, you do it the opposite way that you would do inks. So with inks, normally you do from the dark and into the light, meaning you pull lines and you kind of transition and make rendering out of the black. And with the watercolor, you do it the opposite way. So you start with the lightest, because you can always go back and put another layer, especially if it's monochromatic like this, meaning if it's just one color, in this case just like this pinkish reddish color. So you can always, and this was reddish pinkish because of the lobster, obviously you wanted to make it a lobster color thing. So anyways, you go with the light and you go into the dark, and then you repeat. That's another similar example, just one extra color. So obviously I did like this one with one color, and then I added this one with other colors. And there's some other illustrations here, and some of it is good, some of it is less. This is me. This is the one I used for the thumbnail here. It's an illustration for a short story. I put out 2 more short stories this week. Actually, I did more than I usually do. There's some additional stuff here. Oh, there's some concept work. See, that's some very early concept stuff for Detective Spencer. So you can see how much actually he changed from this suit here being basically looking like nothing. It's just a backpack with... I like some of it is this Joker-ish, stylish kind of thing I like. But obviously there's been an improvement, because you can tell in the design, and there's some random evil guy, and there's the stuff we did last week. So one thing I could do is actually I could maybe do another design like this, but a little more simple and for the same purpose as last time, meaning to potentially use and give away to my friend Orlux to use in a possible situation of creative collaboration. But for this one, I'm not sure how to approach this, to be honest, because it would be more simple than this. It would be just a very simple kind of design with not so much rendering as you have here. So maybe not to draw on this piece. You see how dirty my chest is dirty too, but my desk is. Maybe I'll get a new page here. Try to do a very simple design. So this might take not as long as it would normally take, and maybe then we'll have stuff. And by the way, I just ordered these 2 extra pens, which have been recommended by a bunch of people, but in particular, God damn it, man. What the fuck is going on with my brain? David Finch, right? David Finch? Was it David Finch? Yeah. David Finch, who I've watched on YouTube. I'm just tired. I've been exhausted for a while. I forget stuff. Anyway, David Finch has been using this and recommending it, so I wanted to give it a try. I just got him today, and already it looks pretty cool. So it might be actually the one thing to use. Well, there's several things I always care about in terms of the tools I use. First of all, I care about whatever someone else recommends because I have no idea what to do. I'm kidding. No, but not entirely. But the thing I care about first of all is if it's waterproof, because I want to do watercolor on top of that, and just what is the technique to use with it. So with those microns I've been using, they're hard tip, except for the brush, but it's not really a brush. It's kind of a... So, you know, like, I get a blank piece. Do I even have anything? Yeah. So, you know, with it, like, this is a hard tip. So it's you know, it's a straight line. If you have good paper, like, you know, the paper I use is not the best for comic books, but it's semi-decent in general for artwork, and especially for watercolor, it's good because it's textured. And because it's textured, it's thick, and because it's thick, it doesn't absorb as much ink as, say, normal kind of paper maybe you would see in a notebook if you buy just a random notebook in a store. So the paper would absorb. If you press down like this, after a while, you know, it's gonna absorb a lot of ink. And so if you want to do, for example, fat to thin like this, like those lines, you need to either press down very strongly or do this sort of jiggling thing. Now these things, they're a little bit different. So they look like brushes, and the idea is that you can just press down more and it covers a bigger area. So this is the hard tip, the blue one. The black one's supposed to be soft tip. So the soft tip would probably do a bigger splash. So let's see, this is the hard tip. So you see how it looks like that. So the hard tip, you see the difference. But when it comes to thinness, see, I can do something similar to what I did with the one. This is the micron one. So if I try go light, I can do light. But if I press down, see, that's really nice. Wow, it's pretty cool. And then this one would, maybe I can zoom in. And then this is the soft tip, and let's see how thin it could get, if it could get thin enough. Well, it's already thicker, even if I want to go light. And then if I press down, it's gonna be, wow, you see? Can go really, I'm pressing a little bit harder. But yeah, that's beautiful. You see, so it can make a pretty, like you can do these sort of transitions without having to. So normally with a thin, say micron, you would have to do this like that, for example, and then fill this up, right? But you see, I can do this. You know what I mean. Okay. So these are cool, and I will use them to maybe do a very simple, quick, another sketch of Detective Spencer, just to pin up for Audiolux for Augie, and then see if we can maybe continue with the next panel or finish the first panel on the 5th page. depending on how much time we get. So, as usual, I don't want to damage the paper too much, so I'm just gonna do maybe a little bit of a sketch. Just a quick one here, and then this piece of paper. In the meantime, let me see if anyone is commenting. Someone likes, people like the link I share, but they don't watch it. Obviously, they just like go, oh, he's alive. Let me make sure not to watch and comment. All right. If you guys have any questions, comments, if anyone's watching, feel free to drop a line, and I will try to do just a kind of thumbnail sketch. So I was thinking about something really simple. Well, I was thinking, and also based on what Augie was suggesting. So I'm not sure if I want to do like a really actually I was thinking to kind of move the hands way down, so he's like almost jumping out of the page. Kind of, I don't like these really super straight up in your face stuff, because I don't know, maybe I don't have the confidence to be completely sure in every line, so I maybe try to get away with the fact that, okay, if it's different on the two pages, then on the two sides, like let's say one side is doing one thing, the other is another, I spread out the risk. Maybe that's the reasoning why. But so yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the legs, to either go like completely straight down, both of them, or turn one like sort of behind the other. What do you guys think? Sorry, because I closed down my... Oh, Odelis, we are watching. You're watching, man. Thank you so much for watching. Oh man, obviously I meant other people. It doesn't help that there are Champions League games on at the moment, but I have you on picture-in-picture. Man, thank you. Obviously, you've been watching and supporting all the time, so I would never... I mean, first of all, I would be never mad at anyone for not watching this, but thank you, and it means a lot. And yes, and if you have any guidelines for this, in terms of, first of all, we're thinking about the shape before the actual execution and rendering, and this is just the kind of the pre-drawing. Wondering what to do with the legs. Go with one leg being kind of bent, the other one going down. Well, that's kind of stupid. So who's playing today? What's championship? Who's that? This is the British guys, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea. I lived with Devi, and I still have no idea what is championship. What is... If this is a championship, then what the fuck is the rest of it? Are there not all of them champions? I have no idea. Maybe I'll zoom in so you see what I'm trying desperately here to achieve. I'm just trying to figure out what would be a good pose, and how much foreshortening and things like that. Nah, this is gay. Sorry, I don't mean to be homophobic. Don't cancel me, Netflix. Don't walk out on me, employers. By gay, I meant this is not bold enough. Oh, okay, I make it worse. I'll shut up. So, the Dave Chappelle drama continues, is what I mean. The Dave Chappelle drama, which only proves the point the guy was trying to make. First of all, he wasn't even controversial. Let's start by the fact that he wasn't even trying to be fucking controversial. Secondly, he made the point of like, guys, this is called The Closer. I will close my career with this. He starts with, this is the last you're gonna see me in a while. Why do you think he says that? Because he knows it's coming, and they go, yes, you're right. Well, alright. Cool. This looks interesting in a very weird way. I'm a masochist and I keep watching Manchester United even though they suck. Alright, I hear you, man. I have no idea if they suck or who sucks more. Who they suck as opposed to not suck. I don't know, man. I never really got into football. That's the only thing. Maybe I'll get to it, but I doubt at this point. Realistically speaking, it's too late, maybe for me to get into it. Maybe I missed my football train. God damn it. I'm struggling with legs, and I started, by the way, to read. This is, by the way, a powerful stance. I'll give him a powerful stance, exactly. See, this is nothing near powerful. No, I'm trying to make him full. I'm really struggling with legs, so I started reading Bridgman, and but I didn't get to the leg part. I went through all the hand stuff, and I'm like, but I'm pretty good at hands anyway. And then at the leg portion, I'm like, I'll get to it another day. And then today I'm doing legs. So, I mean, you can see. All right, let me try and simplify this. No. Every time, no. Just no. I do this every time. I tell myself, if it don't work, it's because I'm trying to do too complex things from the get-go. What you gotta do then is simplify. So you do just points. Okay, this is where I want one knee here, another here. And then connect. And then, complicate but slowly. Okay. See? Is this good or should I fix? This may be good. Of course, then proportions, know this, I'll figure out later. But then, what do I do here with the rest? Do I go... No, needs to have a little bit of a bend. Why is there no music? There's a dramatic pause in this. Okay, if you have some suggestions for music, you can also... The thing is, this music, most of it is sucky because I'm looking for royalty-free shit. So sometimes you hear something nice and then the rest of it is shit. So sometimes it's hard to find. This is weird, but it looks interesting to me. Looks very weird. I agree. I will agree with myself. This left leg looks weird, but maybe it could be fixed. And then when I start doing it on the other piece, it's gonna immediately... I'm gonna have the same problems. As soon as it starts looking good here, I'm gonna have to recreate the same thing there. It's gonna be shit. Nah, this is shit. No. I'm gonna figure it out. This part, I can work with that. But this part here, and why am I even... Okay, anyway, let's try to do another simple one besides. I'm stuck on this. That's the other thing. You start doing one thing, and then whatever you've got already starts informing your unconscious, I don't know, which something starts informing another thing. What you see on the page affects what you want to do anyway. Maybe I do enough, or maybe I do like all the way here. No, I don't want to make him into a Spider-Man. I think. See, I could do a fucking creepy one like this. But it's a fucking... Is this a Spider-Man? Or is this the detective? I could do... You see, always start with an amoeba. That's my trick. Yeah, I can turn it maybe a little bit like to the side. So then nah. Like turning him to the side looks indecisive. It has to be in your face. There could be a tilt to the shoulder, I think, but like if he goes like that, oh yeah, I could make him more of a even more foreshadowed, foreshortened. I mean. Good until I did that. Okay, if this goes here, maybe I should do this angle here, this angle here. Maybe twist his pelvis if it makes sense, which I'm not sure if it does, but does it? Does it make sense to break him at the half like this? No, then this should be like this, and this should be like that. No. Fuck. Detective Amoeba. Exactly. You see, but this is why it takes me forever, because every time it takes me forever to figure shit out. And that's why you normally want to start with, once I have this layered out, I go in, because otherwise this is unbearable to watch me struggle to figure it out. But maybe that's informative, I don't know, whatever. Maybe that's useful somehow. No, this is not. Okay, the legs are okay, but this dancing upper body, what am I doing here? Every time, I try to twist it too much, but it just don't work. So either has to be like barely moving, like this sort of stuff. You're not even seeing this. could be even more. See, I'm trying to look at the things I did. See which ones made more sense. And depending on the thing is with the mask, it's hard to convey direction in the face at least, so that everything else has to be in the body. Yeah, I'll give him a classic Bridgman hand like this, and also a comic book hand, like when they do this sort of stuff. Like that finger for, wait, you're not seeing this. That finger being kind of out, like if this is your knuckles, that pointing finger being slightly extended. For some reason this looks cooler than just a wrist. And so they do that a lot. But it's cool. Just looking for energy within everything, within something as static as a fist. Maybe that would work. And then I wonder what to do with this hand. Should he be like? Should he have a little bit of a like, as if he's throwing a casting some spells, or maybe just some kind of but why would it, I don't know, it makes sense for his hand to be yeah, maybe that would work. I don't know. Okay, what do you think? If I go with something like this, I mean, without all this bullshit, but like simple shapes. The line is, for example, from here. This hand obviously is too big. I'll make it smaller or whatever. But if, say, let's say if the light is coming down from here, then he would be shadowed like this. Something like this. If I do something like that as a pose, could it work? Or is it too fucking weird looking? What do you think? Here's an update. My new addiction. Sunflower seeds, especially the white. I'm not racist, but if I am, how would I know it? I prefer the white sunflower seeds. They're just these ones, just cool, man. They're cool. They're staying in the sun all the time, but they're white. All right, I think I'm gonna do something like this after forever figured out, but. Okay, have a look, and if you don't like it, if you think this is weird, actually, this hand I'm gonna work on it. It's not gonna be as stupid as that. This is just the pre-drawing, but anyways, I'm gonna try to keep it simple to make your life easier. So now I'm looking at this at the side, and then trying to this to transition. He doesn't look menacing enough in that pose. He doesn't look menacing enough. God damn it. You might be right. But should he look menacing is the question. Because the question is, do we want the detective to be really menacing? How menacing is it? In the next few pages, you're gonna see how his main antagonist looks like. He's big, and he is menacing. The detective is solving crimes. I don't know if he should be too menacing, but I hear you. Maybe for the general audience, not realizing who we're talking about at all, he should be menacing. Okay. Let's make some menace happen. Well, I mean, menacing could be many things. Could be menacing, but okay. If I just go back to everything we started with in the beginning, just that kind of, or maybe that sort of look of like I'm coming at you look. Actually, could be even more kind of at an angle. Like they draw Wolverine sometimes hunched over like this. Could be that even his hands are maybe that they could be menacing. Could have menacing hand gestures. Or maybe one of them would be a menacing hand gesture. This is actually an interesting gesture that I didn't expect to do, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna fix it up. So this maybe should be at this sort of angle. Whatever. It's not the point. The point is focusing on the pose. Okay, just a simple. Maybe simple is good. I'm gonna move one leg a little bit behind the other. What happens if this one is a little more here? But ever so slightly. So, you know, I want to move one hip. Now this one sort of to the front and this one sort of to the back. So if this is the opening, this is kind of shorter, you know, this sort of stuff I want to do. But then it's difficult to see this too much. Okay, well, he should be more like I'm coming for you. So this sort of more like I'm coming for you. Actually, it could be that his legs are more like behind. So this one is more in front. Yeah, maybe. This is completely coming at you then. Yes, the front-facing pose is great. Okay, got it. Because it's, you know what it is? It's crazy to be this, to embarrass myself like this. It's what it is. It's just years of doing just faces and doing this. This is me for years. And then maybe if I got a little bit space left, I might put his nipples right on the bottom of the page like this. And there's no space for legs here. There's no space for legs. Where do I put the legs? Maybe like this. They're sticking out of the paper. And then whatever happens here, we don't want to know about. So that's why I got a problem with legs. And I got a problem with the proportion of legs. The legs should be big. I always end up making them small, if you've noticed. Because if you look at the body, the legs should be like really imposing, like this. This is the body. This is really coming at you right here. And this is just the thigh. And then you have this other stuff here. And then you got, maybe you make it mechanized. And you do it like that. And then it really, really is correct this way. And then you put a beak on it, and you called it Birdman, and you put some nipples and some feathers. Chicken Man. And here we go. That's concept design for you. And so let's do this front one. Let's not fuck around. It's already almost an hour and I haven't done shit. How much time has elapsed through my life? 46 minutes and I'm so slow. I'm so slow. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's go with this. I'm not gonna sharpen my pencil purposely, so it's easier to erase. Another thing some artists do, actually quite a few I think, because I've seen them a lot of times, is they would avoid sort of drawing the weak points, usually around legs and feet that they don't like, so they would obscure them. they would either cut them out or they'll drill rocks at the bottom or some shit. And that way, problem solved. Actually, I want to maybe pull that back more. Something is wrong off with the. I think it's sort of okay until here. The final portion of it. It just should be longer. Slightly tilted, which kind of makes it weird to look at. Maybe I'll fix it by fixing the leg direction. Doesn't make any difference this way. That's the thing, man. You could get stuck second guessing yourself forever. At some point, you gotta commit to a line. Commit to a line or two, say. That hand is also a little bit too short, I feel like. Somewhere here, and then this is gonna be. Is anything, is that looking any good? I'll clean it up, of course. Wonder what it's missing. Feels like. I don't know why, but this looks better to me with this like going more backwards, because this one is more. He's coming out straight on the one I did now, as opposed to kind of this one going in forward. If this leg is in front, this is more in behind. I can try to do that. Try. Actually, why not? These fucking legs, man, killing me. That's it. I'm gonna do leg studies. Steph Drew is here, my man. Exactly. Didn't I tell you it's a great one? And I've seen all of this stuff that these guys have done, and they've done a few things. They did the same guy, I think the same writer, the same director. They did this Flanagan, whatever Flanagan. I don't know. They even call it like a Flanagan verse now or something. Everything is a verse. But he did The Hunting of Bly Manor, The Hunting of Hill House, this movie Hush, which, by the way, all of these, they kind of exist in the same multiverse. There's these kind of references. They reference to each other. He references to other stuff that he's done, and it's a pretty cool thing, man. There's a couple of really nice surprises there. There's a couple of, I like it, man. I mean, you know, I love horror movies, and to the point of like I can watch any piece of shit and enjoy it. Rap versus, exactly. We had rap versus, and people were saying those are shit, those are dope, and I was like hating on them because I had no friends outside of you guys, you know, which I didn't even appreciate back then. Yeah, I think it just can't get any better than this. If it's gonna be shit, it's gonna be shit. I'll just commit to this shit, and at some point I'll just start just doing this. Anyway, yeah, Flanagan verse, pretty cool stuff, but I don't know, I like it. I like what this guy's doing, and I always enjoy things these days that are not cringy, with all the trends of the day and political stuff and everything. There's some of that, but not a lot here. And maybe they get away with it because they put it in some weird places and weird timelines and weird locations, but for whatever reason, they haven't become, you know, cringy yet in their works. And I think and by the way, these guys ordered another show, like Netflix ordered. If Netflix doesn't go down because of the Chappelle stuff, we might see another one coming out of them, their side, which would be this sort of Edgar Allan Poe adaptation of some stuff he wrote. I don't know which one, but they're doing another kind of miniseries based on that. This is the same creative team. And if you really like this shit, you should check out if you haven't, Hunting of Hill House. I think this one is an original, which I was super surprised. And obviously, you know this because you've read also some of my stories. Both of you have. So you know that I'm kind of influenced by my Catholic upbringing. So I really appreciate like the Catholic stuff there. They're really good with it. I like that for some reason. It's always been, ever since I was a kid, maybe because I was religious, you know, always I was more scared almost by religiously scary stuff than, because isn't that the ultimate thing to scare people with when you're a kid, especially you're scared of many things. And I was like, oh my God, hell, heaven, and all this stuff. And so these guys really do it nicely. They tie in this religious angle really nice. And great actors. And also what I really like is they use the same actors in all the series. Well, not all, but most of them. There's some newcomers here and there, but they are mostly using the same people. They're kind of in that sense, I guess. Loyal, who could you say? Allan Poe was one disturbed dude, says Augie. That's correct. I've read a very little bit. I think I read this like The Crow, whatever one of the famous things was. But I like that period, and now it seems to be kind of really cool thing to do. On occasion, some dudes will do in the horror genre, which is go back to this Gothic era. There was a period of time before horror came around, because horror is, generally speaking, a new invention that came out of this Gothic era of horror, let's say not, what was the preceding thing, like ghost stories and these romantic and Alexander Poe and all this romantic era came up with a lot of depression and old castles that were deserted, and these old royal people standing in their homes and discovering old shit and down in the basement and all this sort of stuff. But a lot of it was mixed, and they were trying to figure it out, I guess. And they were like the early stuff was more ghost stories, Hamlet, this sort of bullshit. And then eventually it started taking form really only after what was the guy's name? H.P. Lovecraft. And Lovecraft also wasn't like, I mean, they call him like the first horror guy, but it was like on the edge of that, it was in the between era, between real modern horror and this Gothic tales. And so he would write these really cool stuff, but not with like maybe he was the first to maybe have the purposeful idea of trying to scare people, perhaps. Because everything else, I feel like it was maybe a side effect. It just happened to be weird, maybe, but not necessarily planned to be scary, you know? And with him, I think he was the first dude to be like, I'm gonna intentionally try to disturb you. And in his case, it was also like just depressive stuff, because he was a very depressed person and megalomaniac, and thinking he's a very special dude that deserves more than life gave him, and he was notoriously, god damn it, he was notoriously like also a racist dude, which I think this show, the H.P. Lovecraft show they did on HBO, I think was alluding to that. They even like they were citing some old story at the beginning, I guess. In those days you have to, but just to make sure to say to people, yeah, we know that he was white and racist. But I think he was. This is weird. This hand is weird. This is. And yeah. Anyways, so he was. Not happy with this. For some fucking reason, this is not working for me. And I'll introduce fixes. Slowly introduce fixes that will hopefully turn this around. But yeah, wonder what this what next comes out of this team behind Midnight Mass, because these guys are really cool. This zombie hand. Why did I do a zombie hand like this? What was I thinking exactly? Okay, are you watching any horror movies? I just watched, by the way, today I finished one. What was the name of it? It was some new shit. And it was super goofy, like funny stuff, and I'm like, what is this shit? And then at the very end, it actually turned around. It was funny the way they resolved it. It was called Malignant. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Malignant. As in, well, I don't want to say it because it's gonna be a spoiler. But it was malignant, as in the word malignant, and it was goofy and interesting. And then, yeah, the other day I watched just this really awesome thing, and it's a series, and I haven't watched it because mistakenly I assumed it was a remake. So there was a movie, I don't know how I missed that. I think there was a Spanish film I watched years ago, a horror movie called Rec, like record, you know, Rec. And so then they remade this. And then they did this other movie called VHS. Why is this hand so strange? And then the VHS movie, I thought it was for some reason a remake. And I mixed the two. I mixed Rec and VHS. And they have nothing to do with each other. Like they're completely separate films. Figure out this hand. It should be more curved towards us. What the fuck is wrong with me today? Anyway, and this Rec movie is now like a series, like everything is. Everything has to be a series. Says me while doing a sequel to one of my stories. But you know, it's now coming to its fourth installment, and I watched the fourth one called VHS N.5, and I fucking loved it. It was so disgusting and fucked up in all the best ways possible, and I loved that shit. And basically it was a series. It was like an anthology within one movie. It was a series of stories from some, you know, found footage kind of style stuff. These guys found these cassettes and they discovered the content. And it's about that. And these stories are really disturbing and really cool. Depraved, disturbing stuff. Well, after hours, maybe I see some hope at the end of the tunnel. Do I see hope? I don't. I still don't, but I keep looking for it. Okay. So, I'll tell you some of the stories while I sharpen my thingy. One was about this TV reporter from some local channel. And she's like, she tells the operator guy, "Yo, guy, come over here. We're gonna cover this story. It's really cool. Come over here, man." Guy's like super excited, more excited than me now. And it's like, all right, I guess I have to do it. Gotta pay the taxes. And then they go into this. Long story short, they go into the sewers because apparently there's a legend going around that there's a guy in the sewers called Ratman. And Ratman is in the sewers and scaring kids. And all the stuff you can imagine a Ratman would do. Sounds like a comic book. But then they see this hairy, dirty looking hobo in the sewers. They go, "Oh, yo, this is Ratman. Let's go." But no, surprise, surprise, that was not Ratman. There's just one of the worshippers. Why isn't there no music? Why is there no music in this mix? What the who did this? Who did this? Why would they? Wow. I had to fill the void with my reverbing voice. But no, it's all right now. So what happens is Ratman, it's this cult, Ratman, they say. We believe in Ratman. And these guys are like, what the hell? And they're like, no, come over with the cameras. We're going to show you. Come over to the sewers. It's totally fine. I'm going to show you everything. And these guys go. And they figure out the story of Ratman, which is pretty cool. This, alright, I'm going to spoil it for you. This creature comes up. This like giant, kind of weird looking, half human, half rat creature. And it's like has something in his throat. He's got to clear his throat. And there's this black goo comes out on the guy with the camera, and basically just completely dissolves his face. The guy's dead. And then the female reporter, they go, well, maybe the mercy of the Ratman, whatever. They just go chill. The Ratman is gonna have a look at you. So the rat creature looks at her, and believe it or not, she survives. And then cut forward back at the news, we've got miraculously back with us so-and-so, says the co-host. She's back. We're so happy to have you back. How, what happened? And she goes, oh, I got something in my throat. And she goes, all this, and then straight at the face, co-host, and he dies. His face melts off, as you could imagine they do in those circumstances. Yeah. So that's basically what this one story was. Pretty interesting stuff. I loved it. I couldn't recommend it anymore. Let me try to. It was very appealing to me. It was very intoxicatingly appealing. It was great. VHS 94, spoiled and ready for you. If you haven't seen it, now you don't have to. But it'll be great if you do, because I told you so. Is this going anywhere positive, this thing? Is there any chance that this is going to work? Maybe this would work. It depends on how I shadow it, so it's not too detailed. I'm aware of that. I still remember that. And so maybe let's try to just throw in some basic shapes. So I can imagine how this might look. people would come here and they would see I'm drawing the same shit over and over again. Last time was something similar. This time people would be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's lost it. I knew it. I knew he would lose it. They would go. They would say we remember the first signs of his decline, but now it's clear. It's clear as day. The boy's lost it. That's what they will say. I will not blame them. I will say, you're right, doctors. If you want to put me away, put me out, even. I will not fight science. I will not find medicine. If you want me out, I will be out. That's what I would tell them. This finger, I'll say. Let me just finish that finger. That's what I'm going to tell him. And they'll be like, he's lost it. Again, we gave him a final chance, but clearly he lost it again. And is this at all gonna work? I have no idea. If this is casting a shadow here, it should be all the way here, I think. Okay, after a lot of struggle, I decided to give up and start inking around this point and try to keep it simple. As we've discussed, even though I don't think it's simple anymore. I don't think it's any more simple than last time. But let's see. Let's see. Maybe there's hope. trying to do negative space here so it's as simple as possible, but I'm not sure. I'm not a big expert of this sort of art, you know. I mean, I'm barely struggling with what I try to do, but you know, I'm way out of my comfort zone on this sort of stuff. Let's try those new. Actually, I'll try the soft tip. does it make any difference than last time? I don't know. I'm trying to make it more simple, and I end up making it still pretty far from a stick figure, but maybe it's gonna work this time. I don't know. This pen is great. Okay, are you saying this? Is this gonna be useful at all to you, or is this too complicated still? So I'm gonna clean up the pen, so I try not to put too much detail, just block these shadows in. But I could simplify this maybe even more if necessary. I think it will work, you say. Okay. I hope you're not saying this just to make me feel better. But this brush is really cool, really comfortable. I hope that this rough paper doesn't ruin it too fast. Because it was hard to find out. I actually had to order it. It was not in the store, and there's so much stuff in the art stores here. But this thing wasn't there, so I was like, not a good sign. Probably it's gonna be expensive, but it wasn't that expensive. It's just hard to find, I guess. Maybe not too popular in here. Okay, something like this. Yes, this is really nice. All right. Okay, so before I ruin it with more detail, which there is a chance of, should I proceed? Do you want me to add some lines? Do you think that there's things missing? What do you think? Because could go on with this, but I'm not sure if I should. It's perfect. Okay. I don't think anything is missing. All right. Okay. Okay, well, cool. I'm gonna clean it up from the pencil stuff. I'm gonna do a nice scan for you and send it. Testing the new marker for whether it works well with, yeah, it works really well, even with the hard eraser. It doesn't bother it. Yeah, it was messy. You saw I was fixing a lot of it, going back and forth, so there might be some marks here and there, but if you push the contrast, the highlights maybe usable. Some white spots to fill in. But yeah, this brush is really pleasant to work with. Really nice and soft. I'm gonna go darker here just so you don't have to worry about sure about those legs, but one day when I study legs enough, it's not finished, but maybe that's a charm. Yeah, alright, cool. Not gonna touch it anymore so I don't spoil it. I'm gonna send this to you guys. It was something else this time. What time? Oh, I've done enough. I think it's almost 2 hours, so the camera will go down anytime anyway. But I'll go back to finishing this page. I'm going with this panel. Now this guy in the prison cell. And I'm gonna do, yeah, some dramatic shadow on his face. In fact, just this brush would be perfect. So nice. nice brush. All right, there was a lot of struggle. There was a lot of this. There was this chicken man, chicken boy. There was this sort of stuff. There was this sort of stuff. A lot of paper was damaged in the process of making this. Ultimately, something I should have made in 5 seconds. Took me 2 hours, but... Oh yeah, here you go, actually. You can see there's hardly any difference between the two. Because I got them side by side. How embarrassing. This was this time's effort, and this is last week's effort. And there's basically, this guy looks really damaged, weathered, and this guy looks a little cleaner, but there's something wrong with him that I can't pinpoint. I think it's something. Yeah, something deep down in his soul is damaged. I'll figure it out next time. Until then, thank you very much, guys, as usual, for coming. The two of you that watched. And the rest of you guys, if anyone is watching this later. I gotta stop watching it. I gotta stop looking at it, because the more I look, the more I'll find things to fix. The more I'll damage it. But yeah, before I ruin any more, I'd like to thank you. And I'll see you next time. Maybe next week. Thank you, Augie. I know I should stop, and I'll send you the scan. Thank you very much, and take care.